gentlemen farmers, a united council, and scam alerts.
You've been listening to This Week in Sedgefield.
And I'm Chris.
Oh, and I'm still Bomber.
Hey, there we go. Alrighty indeed. It's been a week.
It has.
Has it been a good week?
A good week in Well, there's no such thing as a bad week in Sedgefield, is
Hey,
there?
how cool is that? I love that. Oh, very, very nice. Yeah. Just a very quick reminder to our listeners, just because there have been people asking and wondering, This Week in Sedgefield comes out every Friday.
Yep.
So if you are keeping an eye out for it, if you don't see it pop up anywhere, then be sure to check out if you're with us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. But I think most of everyone is listening on YouTube. So you can check out, look for This Week in Sedgefield. You'll see the new one there every Friday, and that'll be awesome.
Yeah, and be sure to. What do you do on YouTube? Do you follow or do
you watch videos on YouTube?
Yes, I know. But how do you get them? How do you get to be notified?
So you can subscribe, and then you ring the bell for notifications.
Okay,
and then you'll be able to get on there as well. But
wow,
that'll be every file. Hey, advanced, right? Technology,
very advanced.
How things
Look
have
at
changed.
us. Yes, yeah.
But we've been getting our news about the happenings and all of that from The Edge, which is, would it be fair to call it one of your babies?
Well, yes, I suppose it would be one of. I have. Two children and The Edge.
Two children and The Edge.
Yes, yeah. My children have grown up, and The Edge is pretty. It's going for 26 years.
26 years. I mean, that's maturing.
Years. That's very maturing. Yeah.
You know, it's actually a good time. We've spoken about it in one of the very first kind of our trial episodes, almost, of the podcast. But can you give us a bit of a rundown? 26 years of The Edge. I thought it was 16.
No, 26 years.
26 years of The Edge. How did it come about? How did you get the name? What's the deal?
Okay, so we were living in Zim, our small family of four, and we decided to relocate down here because my in-laws lived in Renendal. They still do.
Oh, nice.
So we decided to relocate here. And we asked them to look out for a business for us, and there was a little news. Well, it was like an ad rag called the Sedgefield Advertiser. So it was an A4 publication.
Yeah.
It carried ads, basically, nothing else. No news or anything, just ads
for people who are interested in looking at ads.
Yes, yeah. So. We, knowing nothing about running a business or indeed checking how a business should be run.
But you knew A4 papers.
We knew A4 papers. Yeah, we'd seen some before. Yeah. Yes. So, not B4, A4. Yeah. We'd seen some A4, B4. And so we popped down and, well, we threw caution to the wind. And we bought it. And we got down here and... Well, very long story. We realized that there's no ways we could survive on it unless we made it into something better, bigger. My very patient in-laws.
A3, not A4.
Yeah, A3. That's it. My very patient in-laws let us stay with them for a while.
Oh, fantastic.
And we called it The Edge. We put a competition out there.
Yeah.
And asked people to think of names. And one lady from Plet, actually, she said that as a publication, because our spelling was good and our design was good, we had The Edge on our competitors. So we liked that. And we gave her some prize money and we took the name. And it's been going ever since then.
26 years.
26 years.
Oh,
it's been amazing. It's been absolutely amazing. And the papers... You know, unlike our children who have grown bigger and bigger and bigger and then eventually stopped, the paper's grown and then shrunk and then grown and then shrunk. Basically because, as the economy changes, so does the size of the paper. We rely on advertising.
Yes, I was going to say, that's where it comes from, advertising,
at one stage, on a good... on a regular basis, we were running to 32 pages. And we had a children's section, we had a nature section, and what have you. But yeah, unfortunately, the advertising has changed with the introduction of social media and all that sorts
fair
of
enough,
things.
yeah.
So now we're down to a regular either 12 or 16.
Oh, really?
But it's
So it was
still going.
twice the size
Twice
at
the
some
size,
point.
yeah.
Whoa, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
So I still think it's just one of the greatest ways of getting the news in our town.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we really enjoy doing it. Yeah.
You still got the edge, I think.
We've still got the edge.
So one of the things that you would have been reporting on then and covering for the past however many years, I can't remember how many it was, but was the Oyster Festival.
Yes, yeah, we've been running stories on that for 26 years. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. It's been going as long as that.
Much longer, in fact. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This is how good my memory is. I mean, we've spoken about it for the past 3 weeks, and I can't remember the years on it. But what's been really cool to hear is that it seems to have done well.
Yeah. We had a chat with someone on the inside.
Ooh.
We have inside information. He shall remain nameless.
Yeah.
Poor guy. One day he'll have a name.
Yeah, you'll get there.
But he told us that it's kind of on the up and up. He thinks it's like a real good step in the right direction.
Yeah.
For the first time in a while, they've had the sort of good midweek participation.
Yes. That's a great litmus test, right?
Yeah. So people are not just coming for the running weekend or the cycling weekend. They're coming for the week. So that's good. That's what the Oyster Festival was started for, to get business in Neisner, including Sedgefield.
Yes, yeah.
In the quiet winter months, and so that's the aim.
And we did that, yeah. No,
Absolutely.
Well done to all of those. There was a lot of hard work, and they had to really scramble. Also, by the sounds of it, a lot of lastminute.com kind of stuff. Being ready for it and working late and working. Such hours. Yeah. But very, very cool.
Yeah,
Great that's
it really went off well, and it was good to see the events in Sedgefield as well. Which was
man, there was so much fun. I'm looking forward to the next one, seeing how they all go.
Yeah,
and I love these kind of activities, these community ones, these smaller ones. You get families involved. There's lots of different interests. You just get kind of people all together.
Yeah,
and it's really, really nice. It'll be great to see more and more of those
Absolutely.
happening. One of the things that's popped up now, actually, just while we were about to start recording, had to do with people who are agricultural or somewhat agricultural. We thought this might be quite pertinent to some of our listeners who are living up in maybe kind of Reenadal side or on the way to Karatra or Barrington or one of those. Am I thinking of the right kind of people that this would impact?
You definitely are. Yeah. It's kind of, it used to be called gentleman farming. These days it's more kind of off the grid living.
So you're not growing top hats and bow ties.
No, we're not going to ask what they grow.
Yeah.
But it's people that have moved. Quite a lot of people over the years have moved here, and they like the rural life. They like the idea of having 15, 20 hectares, a dam, maybe a cow or two wandering around.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
A lot of them working from home, solar power, that's so kind of
off the grid
stuff.
But there's still, we've got, there's Neisner, right? So there's, obviously us and Sedge, and we've got shops and we've got things like that. So it's, great balance. Great
so one of
appeal.
the advantages of living like that is your rates were very low because your land was zoned agriculture.
Okay.
So you used to get a 75% rebate on your rates.
Whoa.
Which is understandable because the municipality isn't collecting your rubbish. They're not providing you with water most of the time because most of them rely on dam water or rainwater. Electricity, a lot of them are connected directly to ZESA, what are they called? ESCOM. Yes. ZESA, that's a flashback. That's from Zimbabwe. Don't know why that sprang up.
I thought you were having a moment.
Well, it was a bit. So they're connected with ESCOM.
Okay.
So they pay them direct. So you're not getting, and the sewage, obviously they've got septic tanks and all those things. Cool. So you're not getting the services. So you're paying 25% of the rates.
Yeah. Like much of Neisner, by the way.
Yes.
Oops. Okay, we'll get on that later. Yeah, so.
But now that's changed.
Okay.
Yeah. The notice that came in as we were discussing what we were going to discuss on this program, the notice came, and it's called the Amendment to Agricultural Zoned Properties.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of agricultural zone properties within Knysna, and they will be charged with the base residential property rates tariffs as of 3 days ago. The 1st of July.
1st of July.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the agricultural rebate, which was 75%, is now strictly for farmers. So now you can't
what
plant,
constitutes a
you can't
farmer
plant
then?
3 cabbages and get a goat.
4.
Not even 4.
Oh.
No, you've actually got to be a bona fide farmer. You've got to have an IT
Got to have short shorts.
48 short shorts,
The shortest.
suntanned.
There you go.
The two-tone khaki shirt.
Moustache.
Yum.
A mooi snork.
A boy snork. And as well as those, and your wife has to have them as well.
Yeah.
But as well as that, you've got to have an IT 30. Oh no, an IT 48, an IT 48.
I got a 47.
No, an
so
IT
close.
48.
IT 48, huh?
Is a tax form from the SARS, which states that you are a farmer. So in other words, you've got to produce your books. You've got to say, this is what I'm earning as a farmer. This is my income from the 4 cabbages, and this is my outgo from feeding the goat. You've got to be a registered farmer, really, registered with the tax office. So you've got to have. So there's a lot of people who are going to get a hectic surprise when they get their rates.
Do you know anybody who could help with that? I can think of at least one person, a tax guy, who might be able to help with advising kind of people.
Yeah,
on this.
I would like to think so, but the notice they've just sent out is pretty cut and dry. There's no wiggle room that I can see.
Not to like schneid the system, but to getting the form. Maybe the people would know. But if you are someone who knows how to help people with this, then please do. We'll later on in the podcast let different ways of contacting us. Yeah. But please do reach out, even if it's in the comments, or if you see us wandering around town just ambling.
Yeah.
Then give us a shout. That'd be a great way. Maybe some people are on the right side of this. They are actually farming, but they just don't know.
Don't know how to do the tax side.
I wouldn't know, but I'm not a farmer, not even a gentleman one. And sometimes getting things right with our council, with the municipality, can be tricky. I mean,
yes, absolutely.
We won't even talk about the SARS side of things, which chops and changes and all of that. But our good old municipality.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, Chris and I, which is something we do. And we were discussing over a cup of coffee, both of us really like coffee. And we were saying, wouldn't it be nice if our local council could adopt this let's work together attitude that our government of national unity is claiming to have.
Yes, there we go. Good
and
way
look,
of putting
it seems like they have. Even the swearing in was, they weren't swearing at each other, unlike
Out loud.
unlike local council. The government of national unity, when they had the swearing in, it was a celebration.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really
very
was
good
a
vibe
celebration.
about it.
Yeah. So now we've listened to that, we've watched it, and we've thought, wow, wasn't that nice? Wouldn't it be nice if our local council adopted that? Because they don't seem to be, do they?
No, they don't really feel unified.
Yeah.
We listen in, and if you do even any of the reading of stuff they put out, I think, but if you listen into any of the council meetings, the finance one, the housing one, any of these, there is going at each other almost constantly.
Absolutely.
And it feels really. We've got another little remix for you, another little song for you to enjoy. And I'm not even going to give any context on this. It was just in one of the meetings. We could have grabbed a snippet from any of them, from pretty much any of the people on any side of the floor. And I want to make that quite clear as well. Unless it does seem that we are picking on an individual, which we're not. But it goes a little something like this.
With who? Who is telling me who? Who is telling me what? I will never get into size 2 shoe while I know that I'm wearing size 7. With who? Who is telling me who? Who is telling me what? With who? Who is telling me who? Who is telling me what?
Those are very fun to make.
That is hilarious.
I
Kudos
think
to you, Chris. That takes some going. That's very, very impressive. I think you've missed your forte in life.
Oh man, I
really
should have
have.
just been listening into random conversations and then remixing them.
Yeah, we should have had you in Parliament doing that.
Yeah, there we go. But what it feels like, because there are fights like this, and the big language and all of that, and almost every single meeting, it feels like there's going at each other and not on the same team. And I like this metaphor that we were kind of speaking about. If it was a rugby match or a sporting's event, with two teams, the GNU feels like everyone's kind of been forced to be on the same team.
On the same team,
and we're still at a place where there are these two teams who are against each other.
Yeah,
and there's one opponent. I don't know what that would be in our basic services and the job the job, man.
Yes.
Of what the politicians should be doing. That's kind of just being left to win.
Absolutely.
By itself. And,
that's it. Yeah.
And what the Government of National Unity, our GNU, is proposing to do, and it seems like there are steps towards it. I'm going to be hopeful. I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going
me
to be.
too.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
It does. It sounds great, and I'm very excited for the potential of it.
Yeah.
If that could be adopted, like you say, into our municipality, get on the same side and do it for the people.
Yeah.
For the people.
Get it done. For the people.
Yeah. I think that would just go such a long way. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I've said that twice.
Yes.
Okay, so I now owe Chris 2 cups of coffee, because every time I say the open quotes, absolutely, close quotes word, I have to buy him a cup of coffee.
Oh, man.
It's one of those things.
Just one of those things. Let's talk about something where we can really help each other out in the community. This is something that we've both seen in our lifetimes over a very varying period of time, and in a diverse set of ways. We've seen a lot of scams happening, people being scammed, and with social media, and with people getting stinking good at these things, we see a lot of scams happening.
I think the numbers of people in Sedgefield scammed over the last 3 or 4 years, it goes into the 30s, 40s, 50s. It really is bad.
If you speak to anyone, somebody knows someone quite close who's been scammed out of a bunch of cash.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's absolutely
so
tragic.
Bad. It's so bad.
So one of the ones that we see happening quite a lot, and then we'll hear if you've got, I know you got a few anecdotes, and if one or two that we can hear of people happening, is the romance scam.
Oh yes.
And so what happens with this, and this is where we've got action steps for us to take as well, is you'll often have a widower. So an older lady whose husband has recently died.
No, that's a widow.
Oh, sorry. I
the widow is the guy.
Thank you very much. So a widow. So the widow whose husband has passed away, has died recently, will be on Facebook, will be on any of these. I mean, it could be as WhatsApp. There are ways that people get this information.
Dating sites, middle-aged dating sites. That sort of Christian dating sites have been affected.
Oh, it's horrific. And then you will have people who really play the long game in this, and they start out this romance scam, just reaching out, getting to know each other, asking all these things, and really just flaring up a lot of emotions, and giving these women a lot of times, hope for love again, and hope for
over a period of weeks, sometimes even months. Yeah.
And then they'll be just snuck in there. I want to come and see you, but I'm stopping by in Dubai.
Yeah.
And then in Dubai, suddenly I need some cash.
Yes,
and suddenly
my credit card's been stolen.
That's it.
The hire car's broken down. Mm-hmm. My ticket's been null and void. Something like that.
As that pops up.
Yeah, you're right.
Absolutely. And then it's suddenly cash, and it's little bits, and then suddenly big bits, and then and that just kind of continues on for a long time. So my little piece on that is if you have got older friends, or if you've got parents, just ask them
Yes,
about
yeah.
this. Ask them if there's anything going on.
Yeah.
Because one of the biggest ways that we're going to hear about this and how it happens is there's shaming and there's silence and there's urgency on a lot of it. Maybe not necessarily on this one, but there's a level of, maybe just don't tell anyone about this conversation that we're having.
Exactly.
And that just bring it to the light.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Is one of the big ways.
A good friend of mine once told me, you'll never be conned by someone you don't trust.
You'll never be conned by someone you... Okay.
And it makes sense. If you are immediately suspicious of someone, then you won't be conned by them. When you start trusting someone, really, and someone you don't know, someone you've never met, and you really start trusting them and having these... feeling like you've known them forever, that's when you must actually start thinking, hang on a minute, hang on. This person who I really feel like I care about and I love dearly because we've exchanged all sorts of personal information over the months, now wants me to lend him 7,500, 10,000 rand, something like that. 18,000
was one of the numbers that
figure
keeps
that comes
up.
You've actually got to take a step back and say, why do I trust this person so much? And it sometimes it takes a family member.
That's right. And talk to someone about it.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Talk to someone about it. Yeah.
Any other scams that you've heard?
Yeah, there's Sedgefield being a tourist town.
Yeah.
There's scams with accommodation bookings.
That'll be a big one, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not just people leaving without paying their bills and that sort of thing. People will pay money. Will book a facility. They'll send a proof of payment. But those are very, very easy to forge. Very, very easy to create those. And then, it'll be, I've paid you, say they've paid 20,000, and then suddenly on their way, they've broken down, their card doesn't work, whatever. Could you just give me $5,000 and then you can take it off my deposit or whatever. It's happened to people I know well. It's quite often, it's a long game. That's what you, so it doesn't matter that building the trust, doesn't matter that you've been speaking to them on and off for 2-3 weeks, maybe even a month or two. Yeah. It doesn't mean that you have to trust them. They're playing the long game. They're probably playing it with a lot of different people.
Yeah. That's it. They've made a career out of it, and they're really good at it.
So good.
There are so many of these scams. Whether it's Microsoft or Amazon or one of these, and they're so good that they will say things like, "We want to make sure that this isn't a scam, or this isn't something like this. So we have these security checks for you to do."
Yes, on your computer. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
So whenever you have something like that, be sure to speak to someone else. Don't be pressured into something urgent. If it has anything to do with the bank, hang up, look for the real number of the bank, not just the one that they have given you. Call the bank, just ask about it. And that's a big thing, that this preying on the stress, preying on the anxiety, and they are so good at it.
Yes,
it's absolutely horrific.
And quite often, the report of the scam, if this makes sense, is the actual scam.
Yes,
so
that's it. Yeah,
they'll phone you and say, "Oh my goodness, someone is scamming you. Have you just spent 18,000 rand on a new caravan in Joburg?" No, I haven't. I live in Sedgefield. Oh my goodness, someone's taking the money out of your account. Listen to my instructions and follow them. That's what they'll say.
And they'll say, now,
right now. We've got to do it now. So
Yeah.
you believe that they're saving you. Meanwhile, they are the scammers.
Sure.
And then, so as you said, you either hang up and you phone the bank number that you find on the internet.
Yeah.
Or you go to the bank.
That's it, yeah. And that's also a great way.
Yeah. If you
because
can,
sometimes
go to
banks
the bank.
don't answer.
Yes, sometimes you have to. Like, yes, all the time.
Like all the time. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, we want to hear from you guys. Have you got some tips? Oh, another one, don't click on SMS links.
Oh, yes, don't do that.
And email links.
Email links. And they're coming in WhatsApp now as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
and if you have someone that you know asking you for money via social media because they need it urgently and what have you, always phone the person and check, because that's also they're stealing people's identities.
We can do voice cloning.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen this? We've spoken a bit about it, but just from a few of our words, even now, you could clone your voice. And this is where there are a lot more scams popping up, and it's becoming even more difficult that you can have somebody who sounds like your family member calling you and is a bot. And you're speaking with this AI, and it's only going to get better and better. It's going to be to the point that it's going to be video calls, and things like that.
Well, I want to know, Chris.
Oh, yes.
Is that really Chris that I'm speaking to now? How do I know that it isn't an AI version of your voice?
Does not compute.
Does not compute. Okay. Forget whatever Chris has said for the last 20 minutes, because it might be a robot.
Probably is. Certainly feels like it sometimes. But let's be sure to reach out to each other. We've got some ways that you can reach out to us on the podcast, because we love hearing your voice. We want this to be, one of the big ideas is to keep the conversation going, is for us to be able to have this conversation together.
Interactive stuff.
So one of the ways on YouTube, drop us a comment.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good and a helpful one. And another one, if you want to send us a message.
Yeah, you can send a voice message or a WhatsApp message, a WhatsApp voice message. You can type it up if you want. To, are you ready with your pen?
I'm a computer,
Nobody
so I'm always ready.
uses pens anymore, do they? 072 516 4701. I'll repeat that. 072 516 4701. Please lead into your message with This Week in Sedgefield, because that's the number I use for the Edge as well as This Week in Sedgefield. So it would be nice to know that the question's directed
for This Week in
this
Sedgefield
podcast.
Oh, that'll be awesome. It'll be great to hear you. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've loved having conversations with people along the way who are saying that they're enjoying it. So if you're finding things interesting, if you have something that you would like to know more about or chat about, or something that stuck out in the Edge that you want to hear more about, that's also just been one of my favorite things, that there have been these awesome stories, and we get a little bit of extra kind of in this time, and I absolutely love that. Ooh, speaking of a little bit of extra, anything coming up in next week's issue?
Well, we have the story of the toppling toilet.
The toppling toilet.
The toppling toilet.
Toppling.
It's what's it called? Alliteration. We've often spoken about the housing that's being built on top of the dune, the informal housing, and people are up in arms because it's destroying the dune. It's dangerous. And as we've said so many times ad nauseum, there is a court order to stop it, which the municipality needs to enforce.
Yes,
to stop injuries happening, to stop the dune being eroded, all sorts of things. So now, at one stage, whilst all the people have been writing to the municipality and messaging the municipality saying, there's building going on, you've got to stop it, and the municipality saying on the collab report, yes, we are going to, probably a robot voice.
After we've put the electricity in, we'll get to it.
That's it, we'll get to it. Suddenly, in one area, a toilet appeared. One of those portaloos.
From one of the farmers.
Yeah. So there's a portaloo appeared on the top. So we don't know who put it there. It might have been a municipal thing. I don't know. It may have been a donation.
Okay.
Who knows?
Yeah.
And in the last week, it fell down the dune. Like
it
toppled over. It toppled over. Now,
Ooh, that's not
that
ideal.
shows how steep the dune is. It didn't.
Yes.
It didn't just fall over and land on its side next to where it was. It slid down a fair way.
Oh.
So it is dangerous. Now
This
we
could
don't
be this
know.
could be a new sport, couldn't it?
It could be
The toppling toilet.
toppling toilet.
Added into
We
the Oyster
don't
Fest.
know if there was anyone in the toilet at the time, which is
Oh, I hope
something
not.
that everyone's asking.
Yeah.
Well, there's mixed feelings. Everyone is saying that they hope there was no one in the toilet.
Yes.
But there has been a thought in my mind that if there was, we hope it's the tavern owner with the noisy music. The illegal tavern owner who's been playing his music and keeping everyone away.
There we go.
If he was in the toilet,
You know, wouldn't be as bad.
it wouldn't be as bad.
bad.
Yeah,
Oh,
especially if
boy.
it landed with the door face down, so he couldn't get out. No, enough of that. Far too soon.
Oh goodness gracious!
So yeah,
Okay, we'll
that's
keep
going
an
to
eye
come
out
up,
for that.
and also that joking aside, there's a whole lot been going on with the people who are fighting the good fight against the municipality law enforcement for
gathering signatures,
sending countless collab reports and whatever. So yeah, we're going to touch on that a bit in the
Good.
paper
Okay.
and
Okay, no, that'll be
see
good.
what happens. I'm hoping for some overall feedback on the Oyster Fest. Maybe
That'll
they
be
can give
cool.
us some figures as to how many people came and that sort of thing.
Oh, that'll be awesome to see.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, great. Well, looking forward to that. I think that's going to be cool.
Absolutely.
And then once again, thanks so much, Bomber.
Thank you.
And hope that you all have a great week. Hope to hear from you all soon.
That'll be great.
It'll be us, I swear.